On what's going on? It's your boy PBK9's giving you that dog news the way I always do. Fair and unbiased. Some gonna like it, some ain't. Thank y'all for tuning in. If you haven't subscribed to that channel yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit that like button before you get up out of here. Don't forget to get up in the comments as well. Shout out to all my bulldogs from the east to the north to the west to the south. Shout out to all the bulldogs across the world, all the ladies, all the men. Shout out to everybody tonight. We got an interview from P&M Kennels, but first, we're gonna talk about a few things real quick. But we're gonna jump straight into that interview. Shout out to all my people out there with the Jeep dogs. The tab stuff. We're just gonna talk a little tad bit about that tab stuff and show a couple pictures or whatever. Mr. Al White with Paulie. That's a picture of him with tab right there. Bailey's grand champion Rambo. Then he's coming down off tab. Crenshaw's champion Gator. He's coming down off tab. Then we got Tab Jr. Now he looked damn good, ripped up. Then we got old Brute right here. Now I had some dogs off of that Brute dog. I had the tab dogs off of tab, and I had some off the dang on Brute. But the ones I had off the Brute, I wasn't real satisfied with them. So, But you got White's JD, that's coming straight off tab. And then we got Crenshaw Smooth coming off tab. Shout out to everybody who running that Jeep stuff, man. Them tab dogs. Them Jeep dogs play a great part in the foundations of pretty much a lot of people who say they got great dogs these days. So, gotta give a big shout out to them tab dogs and them Jeep dogs. But shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Dreadlope, shout out to Dreadlope, K-Walk, JT Yard, Aquatic Knowledge, and Ronald Blackwell. Shout out to y'all, man. And DJ Cooley, shout out to y'all, man. Y'all up in here early. We up in here with P&M Kennels. We about to get into it. What's going on with you, my brother? How's your day going?
Oh, it's going good. Man. I can't complain. I'm happy to to be online, a part of this great show right here, I tell you.
Hey, appreciate it, man. I appreciate having you here, bro. Appreciate you coming.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Before we get deep into this dog talk, I got a couple questions I want to start off with first. Let's see where you at.
Okay.
But these ain't no questions that they ain't necessarily dog wise, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Gotta pick one or the other. Martin Lawrence, Fred Sanford.
Wow. I'm gonna have to say Fred Sanford because he was actually with Malcolm X. Okay. So I'm gonna pick Fred Sanford. Plus he was funny.
Okay. All right. Top athlete: Michael Jordan, Tom Brady, or Floyd Mayweather?
God, man. I look at Floyd like the Cottonham blood. Just real fast. Swift. Oh man. I look at Tom Brady just the ultimate 50-50. Oh man. And Michael Jordan is just like Zebo himself. Oh man, this is a hard one. I'm gonna have to go with Michael Jordan.
All right. Last question I got for you on that one is: top movie star between Al Pacino and Wesley Snipes. Gangster movies. Not necessarily gangster movies, it's top star.
I really want to go with Pacino, but oh man, what's gonna give it to me? I'm gonna give it to Wesley. Is the tip it over to Wesley? I'm gonna have to say Sugar Hill. So
Alright,
I'm gonna have to give it to Wesley.
alright.
Yeah,
I feel you on that. I feel you on that.
I'm gonna have to.
Yes, sir, man. Yes, sir. Appreciate everybody in the chat tonight. Shout out to Street Rossi in the building. Shout out to Street Rossi in the building. Y'all brothers, don't forget to hit that like button. All right, we about to get into this dog talk, man. We about to get into the dog talk. I got P&M Kennels up in the building. You know what I'm saying? First thing I want to ask you, my brother, how did you get started in the dogs?
Well, it actually started when uh I was at work, man, and this the crazy part about it. I was actually at work and cleaning out some cars, and the guy I was working with, man, we were just tapping around on a few subjects, and he kind of was like, yeah, man, I got, some, you like pits? I say, yeah, I love them, man. He like,
Yeah,
man, I got some, I got some blood at the house, and on top of that, I'm gonna bring a little book so you could just kind of peep and just check out. So he brought a couple Richard Stratton books, and on the lunch break, and I was just sitting reading the old Richard Stratton book, and I was like, man, I was blown away. I'm like, ever since then, man, it was on and popping from there.
I feel you on that. I feel you on that. Man, when I first got in it, I always tell the story about the first pits, but see, a few of the guys that were around me had pit bulls before I had them. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And matter of fact, there's one guy right now. He had to been in his early 20s at this time. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I was in my mid teens. He had a cream red nose buckskin. He was pretty much the baddest dog in town. All right.
Hmm.
Now this dude was in his mid 20s then. Right now today, this brother he incarcerated. He just got incarcerated. He going through some uh what do you call it? ICE shit, immigration. You know what I'm saying? With some
Yeah.
Jamaican shit. Say,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? They messing with him. We talking 30 some years later. 30 some years later, they mess with him about some dang old his papers and all kind of junk like that. You know what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
I just thought that was crazy because you know, he done lived the whole life, got family, kids, everything over here. You know what I'm saying? And you
Mm.
just want to ship him back. He don't know nothing about where he going back to. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? That shit crazy. And it's just, he was one of the guys who had, was really doing it with the dogs before I even, really got a purebred pit bull. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just crazy because how he going through that situation. I remember him when I was just a little youngster coming up, and he was around here. So damn, he should be grandfathered in. I figure by now or anything. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Shit. You know. But one thing real quick before we get into the interview real deep. I wanna let all my brothers and sisters know that doing this YouTube stuff, because I like to throw a little, when I figure out something, I learn something, I like to tell the next person or whatever. I don't let anybody know who doing these YouTube channels or doing these YouTube videos. From what the folks saying, you don't get as much money off doing lives. You don't get paid off doing lives like you do get paid off doing scripted videos. You know what I'm saying? How we get paid off lives is what people donate to your channel. What people do to super chats or do this or do that. That's when you're gonna get paid off your live. If you go an hour, 2 hours, and nobody do a super chat, nobody do nothing, you're not getting paid off your live. You know what I'm saying? When I do the scripted stuff, I'm getting paid off that. And I'm not the only YouTuber saying that. YouTubers across the board saying it or whatever. But that's just something to keep in mind when you see brothers doing certain things. Everything ain't, pay attention to your money at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? It's all about the bread at the end of the day. We can give you these stories, we can do this, but at the end of the day, it's about that bread. It ain't it ain't that much loving dogs in the world. You know what I'm saying? It's all about the bread. At the end of the day, every dog man who up here on these channels and all that, they doing it for the bread. You can best believe that. You know what I'm saying? They ain't up here. They
Yep.
might love the dogs. You know what I'm saying? But they say, oh, he getting paid off talking about it. Shit, I might as well get paid off talking about it. I might as well get paid off talking about it. You know, so keep that in mind. You know what I'm saying? Because when brothers see brothers doing lives and stuff like that, they want to figure out the way to do it and certain things. But lives is the way, but ain't the way. It's the way because folks donate big bread, do what they gotta do, and you're gonna get a whole lot more money with folks donating and doing stuff like that through your live, and you can communicate with your folks with your live. That's the main thing, communicating with your folks, I guess. So but just keep that in mind, man. But back to you, my brother. Back to you, my brother.
Yes, yes, yeah, yes. That was knowledgeable though. I was listening. I was definitely listening.
Where where did you get, or what was the first bloodline you know what I'm saying you had? Where did you get the first, you know?
Yep. My first one was what was an old family red. He was oh man, he was Haley's uh old family red coming down off of some Hempfield Geronimo 2 stuff, heavy in bread, and he had a shot of a dog named Rosmus McCoy, which was at that time was really uh, 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 a kind of descendant of the Kobe family, a touch of the little Kobe, but mostly the Rosmus dog was bigger, but game bred dogs this way in the
Yeah,
Midwest.
yeah, yeah. Let me ask you a question, man. You think when we got the dogs that had Kobe in the background, you think that we had the real anything that was worth saying that it was some good Kobe dogs, or you think they was done washed up by the time we even got to them?
Uh, I only had one, so I can say uh, I received her and wow, I received her in two. It was 99, and she was a purebred Heinzel. Her whole from the fourth to the first in '99, it was all Heinzel.
Mm,
Um, her structure was impeccable. Very compact dog, but smart, alert. She was black brindle. The traits was there when you see her, far as the brindle with the Kobe. And I just call it the black brindle. You know, but
yeah,
she was an excellent female, and I received her from one of my Mexican friends at that point in time, and they were breeding. That was the family dog of his family, and they were breeding that dog. But she was the last of it, and he was pretty much getting done with the dogs at that time. But exceptional dog, very exceptional.
yeah.
Um,
Okay.
yeah, but I do think about 99 ish. A lot of the Kobe kind of stretched off, and some to be uh, extinct, as we can start to say, far as the traits that we really been looking for, if I can just say that. Um, More so went off into a lot of more obedience training, and I don't think it was really getting bred back uh, into the families to keep more so the athleticism and to be back circulated with, we can say, the general public.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
I'm gonna say it like that because it's still some Kobe strains out here that's definitely holding its own. But for you to get your hands on one, you really got to know somebody. But it's definitely there.
You think a person can get a lot of you know respect with their dogs as far as say I'm not showing no working ability. I'm just going off pedigrees.
Yeah,
And how you think somebody gonna treat me if I got a pure Kobe dog? As far as my selling prices, I step to them. I'm trying to sell them high, man. It's a pure Kobe dog. Ain't nobody got no pure everything Kobe top to bottom. You think you gonna? Are they gonna be like, oh man, them dogs? No, they mediocre right about now. You know,
Uh,
because
I
if they if it's like same thing. If I got a pure Earl Tudor dog, everything said in the pedigree saying Tudor in the background. Whether it's off one dog or another, it's off Earl Tudor stuff. It'll be valuable right now. You
yeah.
know.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree on that. But what I do go by is just being able, if you can see the sire in the dam and see how the owner interact with it, because
Yeah.
some will show you, man, like this ain't nothing I want nothing off of. I wouldn't, I
Yeah.
wouldn't pull to the gas station and put $1.50 in the pump, to air up my tires with this. Some
Yeah.
of them strains, you just look at it and be like, well, man, I don't, the genetics supposed to show and it's supposed to be there. And certain signs, back in the day, I met up with a guy who was breeding, not off subject, but he was breeding a real tight Lonzo King Elvis blood. I
Yeah.
mean, heavy. This dog was, at this time, this this camp was breeding it, and King Elvis was maybe in the first four generations, maybe say five times. Lonzo Muscle, King Elvis. That's what all these dogs was off of, basically. But it was inbred. And he bent down on his knee and he said, I'm going to show you the difference of a true Lonzo dog. He said, here, hold a dog. He walked away about 5 feet. He said, if I bend down on my knee and if this dog don't come and slam me in my chest, then that ain't a pure Lonzo dog.
Yeah.
And I kind of was thrown off about it, but I did what he said. He told me to release the dog. When I released him, the dog came and slammed him in the chest. He
Mm.
said these dogs are very, very lovable, but they are loyal as well. He said if someone's saying they breed pure Lonzo dogs and it don't run and bend on your knee and don't come and slam and hit you in the chest, that's not a pure Lonzo dog. And I respected his outlook and point of view on that. To
Yeah.
say, you know, you got to know your strains and certain things you're looking for.
Yeah. You're right about that. The Kobe dog. I had one Kobe dog when I was probably in my late teens, black one, but I never really, he just grew up. I ended up selling him probably before he got a year old, I think. And so I never really seen anything with him or anything. So, but he had a pretty good structure on him. He was
Yeah,
nice size. He was nice size dog. I ain't had no papers on him. I bought him from a lady, and she said he was a Kobe dog. So I just went by that. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Kobe could have been the most popular thing people knew for pit bulls at the time, and she could have just been trying to get one off. But
yeah,
the dog, he seemed pretty straight. But that's the only dog that I had that somebody I actually got from somebody that was supposed to be a Kobe dog or whatever. But
yeah.
what
I just wait just to touch on that subject. I've seen with this year. I've seen a breeding with the actual Jeep of today with pure Kobe on the bottom, and this dog looked very impressive. It was you could distinctively say that he was something of a throwback. If I can say that, very rat tail, athletic body, but he did have a set of ears on him, and it was kind of weird. But when I broke down the pedigree as looking through it with the Jeep to the Midnight Cowboy on the top and the pure Kobe, I would have loved to seen what that dog produce or been able to produce, years
yeah,
going forward.
yeah,
But it's some people still putting it together, man. Some
yeah,
people still putting it together.
yeah. You seen anybody? I ain't even seen nobody lately post any kind of Kobe majority bred Kobe dogs
Nope, nope. I just know of a
without
few.
us actually going back and say these are Kobe dogs. I'm talking about somebody who breed in modern day. Are any of the Kobe's left that's still breeding their stuff?
Far as my knowledge, to no, they're not.
Okay,
It's
okay,
just a few people who I know got down from the line of the click blood and a couple clicks and a few that's some PR Kobe stuff that was around. You know, but uh, for like I said, for them to cross their blood into you, you better off buying 500 big game tickets, to get some of that blood right at this point in time, because they still charging what they charging for them, and they
Uh,
just selective about who receives them and who don't.
yeah, you know
You
how that
know,
is. You know how
yeah,
that
you know
is.
how that is.
Big Tree, what's going on? What's going on, Big Tree? Shout out to you again, Samurai. Shout out to the whole chat, man. Shout out to the whole chat. Brother Blackwell in the building, like I said before. Shout out to the whole chat, man. We got PM. Damn, I'm getting tongue tied. P&M
Yeah.
Kennels in the building. PBK9's in the building with the rest of the dog brothers and sisters in the building. Like I say, shout out to all the doggers across the country, across the world, man. Don't forget to hit that like button before you get up out of here. You know, um, Everybody might can't stay as long as the next person can stay, but don't forget to hit that button before you get up out of here. All right, real quick, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Give me your top dog of the past.
I'm
Or
go.
your dog of
I'm
the past, the dog of the past, excuse me for breaking. The dog from the past that most impressed you.
I'm still gonna say she's still the queen of the hill. We gonna still have to give it the. We gonna have to give it the honey bunch.
Okay.
I mean, of the past, I'm definitely gonna have to give it to her. Even though she was bred to Zebo and didn't produce anything, I mean, just overall, just the lines that comes down with her heavily influenced, um, it is can be eye opening. So I'm gonna have to give it the honey bunch. I'm
Yeah,
gonna have to, hands down.
I got you. I feel you on that. Now I'm gonna get. I got two dogs. Really, I got one dog, but I would pick yellow. But the boys gonna say, "Oh, he picked. Yeah, you know he's gonna pick yellow." All right, but I'm gonna say red boy. You know,
Yeah,
because just because of people still breeding that stuff and it's still throwing some of the good red boy traits. Um, and still getting the same quality dogs that people's getting 30 years ago, 30 some years ago. You
yeah,
know, even though he maybe he himself, I believe Honey Bunch probably produced better dogs than him, maybe. Or maybe that'd have been crazy if they'd have bred together.
yeah, man. If they
You know
could
what
have
I'm saying?
bred them two together,
That'd have been crazy. Red Boy Honey Bunch.
yeah, that would have set the tone right there.
Mm-hmm.
Before Red Boy decided to jump out the window, that would have set the tone right there.
Yep.
Before he
Yep.
went chasing down Lion,
Shit.
that
But
would have set the tone.
but yeah, dang on and yellow not that really that old. Red Boy really not that old, but I mean, he old enough.
Yeah,
He old enough. But then you got dogs like Eli and them from the 70s, you know what I'm saying? That's even more time we even go further back. We can't really knock them out the box like that because, we go back to the 60s and the 70s and we still in 2023 talking about a pure Eli dog. And they
yeah,
be making good dogs out there as well. So,
yeah. You
it's
right
like,
about that.
yeah, it's it's really kind of biased thing, whoever dog you really like, you know what I'm saying? Because there's a bunch of great dogs out there, motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? It's a bunch of great dogs. You can't really knock. When you call one out, you have another one, you be like, oh, what about this dog? Oh, what about that
Yeah,
one? Oh, man, this one, this is as good as that one. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. All right. To my next question to my brother. Do you think it's harder for like a person just starting in the game to receive good support and guidance these days?
Man, absolutely, absolutely. Right now, I think it's hard. But far as getting the tools, I think is more easy for anybody. Far as the tools, but for you to get the guidance, that's the issue right now. That's
Yeah,
the issue we really going through.
yeah,
People being able to get the hardware, or the actual the G body frame, and you know and then you be like, what I really need to do with it, and
hmm
they going by off of, you know, bits and pieces of things they hearing, from people who lead them, misdirecting and lead them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think that's the biggest part right now. It's not nobody really taking nobody under the wing and really and really giving them a direction, to do and how to do it.
Yeah.
You know,
Hmm.
I think that's the main issue.
Yeah. Back when I was younger, man, uh, like say like you might be in your teens, you might have a little young boy might come around the yard. You know what I'm saying? He'll try to be a yard man. You know what I'm saying? They'll come around try to be a yard man, try to do stuff and do this and do that, and they'll be trying to learn about the dog, trying to learn about the dog. And then
Yep.
them kind of folk, they pick up because they'll follow the next person or whatever. But it's just so many different kind of older dog men out here these days. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, some people hot keeping their keeps to themselves. Some people
Yeah.
willing to give it up, but they ain't giving up the right information.
Yeah.
Some people, everybody got their own style of doing things. Not saying nothing is right or wrong. Everybody got their own style of doing things, and it's like you said, it's bigger platform out here these days, and people can just reach so many different things.
Yep.
Back when we was younger, we couldn't reach millions of people to get all these different opinions about things. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? We had to get the opinion from things from either the dog man you was getting your dog from, or either whoever your homeboys was, or somebody around you that was dealing with the dogs, or somebody you knew by telephone. Or
Yep.
what, so it was a whole lot harder. It made it easier at the same time because you really didn't have a lot of stuff to try to get out your brain. It was either was that working or you're gonna try your own thing. But
Mm-hmm.
these days it depends on whoever you like the most. You might like PBK keep, you might like Fat Bill keep, you might like Going Hard keep, you might like this keep, and none of our keep worth a damn. You know what I'm
And
saying?
just to touch on that, the whole thing is, and a lot of young cats like this with it. They be more so like scared of the actual keep. And look, at the only thing at the end of the day you could do is try.
Yeah,
But if you take a piece from this, you take a piece from that, you take a piece from this, you take a piece from that, and try it. But if you just keep hearing and listening and getting scared of all the things that you're supposed to do, and then you got other people trying to lead you this way and feel they know this and feel they know that, you got to do it yourself. Trial and error is the best teacher. Is the best teacher. And I think that's another factor itself within today, with me saying, you know, people able to get the tools, you got the G body, you got the frame, you got the motor, you got the legs, but you ain't got the driver. You know what I'm saying? And that comes with trial and error. I ain't expecting you to run 9 seconds on your first pass. Shoot, you might even run high 13s in a quarter. It's about the driver.
yeah,
But when you got a car that's capable of running nines and tens, and when you figure it out yourself, they gonna say that's a bad mother right there. You know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm, yeah,
And that's what it take. It take that trial and error, and you will get an OG that sometime might see. Okay, he might be on the right path, or he might be trying to, okay, well, let me just see, just and toss him a little something, and maybe that'll just help him out. You know what I'm saying? You
yeah,
don't know, but it's how you carry yourself. You know that too. A lot of these guys carry themselves, dealing with these race cars like you can't tell them nothing.
yeah,
And they put the word D, capital D, in the word dumb,
mm-hmm,
you know, and that's just what it is. Shoot, I got to sit at the table too, and a person look at it and be like, I sit at the table, so if you don't want to listen, you gonna be my lunch meat.
mm-hmm,
You turn out to be lunch meat for a whole bunch of sharks.
yeah.
They gonna keep jumping on you too, because it's easy, it's easy winning.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. When I was young, man, I used to look for people like that. I ain't gonna lie to
Mm-hmm.
you, and we ain't have no internet like this, but I used to look for people because you have people who be talking about them blues. You have all kind of people you bump into across different places. You know what I'm saying? And then
Yeah.
like you know, man, I catch you out there slipping one of them yellow dogs. You told I was a hound dog. You know what I'm saying? You talking about, oh, this is a hound dog. I catch them slipping because they looking for the old box face dog. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I always catch them slipping with not, that's what I was looking for. You know what I'm saying? As far as like when I had a young mind frame, a teenager, shit, man, I ain't gonna lie. And it's like, once you start getting to want to know the game and really learn things about the game, man, it's like you start paying attention to the people you getting your dog from, for one.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Is they winning? Is you winning? Is this person, whoever winning, you need to be trying to figure out where they get their dogs from. Back in the days, you know what I'm saying? And then when it comes to a lot of people get intimidated from trying to go, like when it come to keeps and stuff with them young brothers, they'll see just say I'm doing my shows and this, and I'm talking all kind of stuff about the keeps, and I'm talking this and I'm talking that, but they won't compete with me with a treadmill competition, or they won't compete with me on the weight pool because they thinking, oh, Pelican Bay gonna take me out. You know what I'm saying? But see, in my days, you know what I'm saying, I could have been 17, 18. I'd be like, shit, come on, let's go, PBK. Let's line up. Let's line up. Let's see what them things gonna do. You know what I'm saying? And I know it's one thing, two things gonna happen. I'm gonna either win or lose. You know what I'm saying? If I lose, it is what it is. And if I win, guess what? 30 years later, I got a story to tell. I done knocked his ass off. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I got him off in the weight pull back there. So it is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But yeah, man, a lot of young brothers, just to my young brothers out there, just pay attention to the knowledge you get. There's a lot of good brothers out here with dog channels. Shout out to Samurai Kennels Dog TV, because, brother, I forgot that I made that last video and I mentioned a lot of brothers with the dog channels and stuff, and I forgot to mention your name, so I just thought about that. I had to throw you back up again because the brother doing some good things on them dog, on that, dog talk, dog protection, all that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Y'all pay attention to this channel. Another channel, man, I got into, I ain't know nothing about, but I see the brother was talking about some good stuff. Break Bread Kennel, I think. Break Bread Kennels. Break Bread Kennels. I checked this thing out and I was just, checking it out or whatever. Brother was talking about some good stuff. I'll be checking everybody's stuff out, man. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to all the Bulldogs from the east to the north to the south to the west, man. Like I said.
For sure.
And let's keep this thing rolling. Let's keep this thing rolling. All right. What's the biggest mistake you think people make these days when starting their yard off?
Consuming too many. I think right now it's consuming too many hounds. It's consuming too many race cars.
Okay, is it too many one blood or too many different bloods?
I think it's a little bit. I think it could be a little bit of both. I mean, I'm still a firm believer to this. You find you one male and three females. Now your three females don't all have to be, family bred. They really say two, but I'm really gonna say three.
Yeah.
Because that's gonna get you. That's gonna down the line. That's gonna give you your outcross if you need it. But you gotta do your homework on what was going with what. You know what I'm saying? I think it get overwhelming when you get more males on your yard.
Yeah.
That's off of this and off of that. It ain't the females' problem. It's when you get all the males.
Okay.
And you get the males that ain't, and they all off of different stuff, man. You gonna get a lot of different things if they not family bred. I think you should really get a male and keep you three good females. You
Yes,
keep
bro.
you two you breeding, and one that go with the blood, but you interact with her a little bit more. You spend time with her. But them two females off rip, you already know. When I stick, Johnny Lightning dick up inside of this one, I'm gonna get what I need. I know I'm gonna get what I need.
But what happens? But what happens when you make that breeding and then that little puppies come out better than the ones you was just planning on keeping? You weren't really planning on keeping none of them, but you see them like, damn, I might got to keep one of these. You know what I'm saying? Now you done got one extra dog.
Yeah, and that's
that same thing happened again when you like, I ain't gonna keep none of this. Forget that. I'm selling these. Then you see them jokers start acting up. You like, dang, boy, he's acting better than the last one.
Yeah.
I gotta keep one more. You know
and
what I'm saying?
And that's when we start trying to find change spots in the heavens. We trying to
Mhm.
keep everything, man, and
Yeah.
it gets there, man, and you know what them characteristics, man. When you could just sit and just start to look at them as puppies and just like 5 to 8 weeks. Well, really 8 to 15 weeks. I'm just saying, just on come in the house or go wherever you got your pups at and just watch them. You just watch them, and you can sometimes see the ones that's already just destined to be like something special. You can just see it.
Hmm. Yep. You can see it,
Yeah, you really can. You can just see it, man. That's
especially.
it's crazy, man. We need more space.
Mhm. You're right about that. Right about that. So, what's the best you ever received from best information you ever received from somebody concerning your dogs in the past?
um,
Best advice.
I really advice wise, they really just say just stick to it, and that was the basic advice that anything, how you do it, you stick to it and don't give up, and if you got that kind of attitude going into it, that's what makes you want to keep going forward, and especially being a past athlete myself,
Yeah.
playing basketball, sports, and things like that. When you got an ideal of sports, and you take certain concepts of other things of what you need to know, you just had a never give up attitude, like you're gonna try to figure this out, not
Yeah.
more so, because it's a breed, it's a challenge, and it can be a little pride in a way at times, but when you really can sit down and have somebody who can sprinkle things in your ear, or tell you certain dimes and jewels, man, that be the blessings that stick with you, forever and go forward for real. If you had the pleasure,
Yeah.
and that's what made this a brotherhood. That's what all really ties us in. Because you'll even get a good message from a fool. A dummy will tell you something good. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I,
Why you think dogs draw people together like that? Like far as people might not like you, people might not like you, your race, people may not like your whatever you might be, LGBT community, people may not like you, whatever, however. But when it comes to dogs, why you think people always bond together far as they ain't thinking about none of that. They just about about the dogs. Why you think dogs are, do that to people outside of anything else? You know what I'm saying?
what, that's a damn real good question. But most of the people, I figure, you see them once, you see them twice, and when they understand you, you more of a, you know not a white collar, because it's some white collar dog men in this, in this game now, and there's some blue collar dog men, and you got to know the difference. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And when you around some of the blue collar dog men, and they see, they notice your hound's always healthy, and you trying, you ain't really all in the mix, and trying to be Mr. Loudmouth, or what you got going on, but you hold your own ground, and people gravitate to you just to see, to see it, you know what I'm saying, and to kick it with you, and some friendships, it starts from being humble. It don't start from really beating on your chest. A lot of friendships start from just being humble, and them be the ones, sometimes that make these magical breedings, and you know hounds of the day.
Yeah.
By meeting another humble brother who just love his dogs as much as you know, and come to find out, shit, you got some of the blood he wanted to even, the possibly was looking to outcross into, but really didn't know who to reach out to. You know what I'm saying? Because so many people blackballing and fast laning and telling them, yeah, I got this one for this right here, man. I want 1,500 stud fee. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on, let
And
me stop you real quick right there. I ask you a quick question because you said something just now. You think more people lack in the dog game because of blackballing or because of pride when it comes to making a breed happen? Knowing it could be that breed of the
Oh
lifetime.
no, oh no, I know it's pride. I 110%. I was standing around some guys, and kind of dealt with them in that same sense, and with the Jeep bloodline, and hearing one of the owners never met these guys, they never met these other people in one time in their life. They will come out their mouth and say, "Man, I like that program of what this camp doing right here." Super Bowl Kennel. I like what Super Bowl Kennel's doing. And he called me, but man, I'm not breeding to that. I'm not breeding to his at all. And then
Yeah,
you come to think about it, and you be like, "Well, damn." When you look at the pedigree, you say, "Okay, y'all got damn near half cousins."
yeah,
One, if you starting to show good percentage rates on what you doing, and he reaching out to you,
yeah,
why y'all can't just make it happen? You know, and it be a lot going into that. Which I do understand. It do be a lot going into it. It get more prideful right in there.
yeah,
And and that's how I think a lot of good breedings were not done. And
yeah,
I'm speaking from up north. You know, a lot of great breeds was not done because that pride and you know, and the company certain camps keep. Some people be like, I'm not breeding to that camp. You know,
yeah,
he all right. He got what I need. It will be magic. But look at his look at Jimmy 2 times. That's his kennel partner. He
yeah.
gonna have that blood all up and down the Mississippi River.
Mm-hmm.
And tell me he kept it.
Yeah. Right about
So,
that, though.
so
Right about.
I do think that pride is one thing, but as you start to mature and look at it, it's like, hey, if they gonna come and breed to it, they gonna come and breed to it.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna stop the history of what my dog can produce or what this dog can go on and leave a legacy of, because at the end of the day, it's gonna be bigger than me.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Right about that, though. Right about that.
Yeah,
And
yeah, but that's definitely I've been seeing that happen, and even with a couple my close homeboys, I talk to them. They say, man, I know them guys. I know them guys. Them guys. He said, yeah, he a real good guy, man. He ain't really he ain't really complaining on how much the pup price is. He really trying to get it in his hands. But when I look at his program and I look at everything, and he's like, man, I put a lot of hard work into my program of, as you can see, you know, he like, man, I want to do the breeding with him, but I know if I do that breed with him, man, them hounds will be all up and down pairs online, and all up and down Facebook for sale in a heartbeat, and possibly overseas, you
yeah,
know. And he's saying, I'm not really ready for my, when I call it quits, that's where my blood can, but right now, I'm enjoying what I got.
yeah. Feel you on
You
that.
know, and some people take that as a slap in the face, but you got to look at it like this. That's that man hard work. That's his hard work, and he decide where it goes and where it don't go.
Okay. Quick question off of that. Being that each kennel who do their little breeders or whatever, that's their hard work, right?
Hmm.
So say they know they do their breedings right and they get their dogs to selling for a certain amount, $3,000. I'm gonna say $3,000. Okay.
Hmm.
Now they start selling. They really don't want to sell no puppies, but then they start selling puppies. Okay. Now the people they selling puppies to got the same dogs that they got, but they're gonna sell them for say 500. Okay.
Hmm.
Now they gonna sell them like hotcakes. You know what I'm saying? Uh, do you think that breeder should worry about that? Do you think he should, if he stops selling his dogs to the public, you think he wrong because of that? Or you think that's that's just part of the game? That it is what it is.
No, I think it's just part of the game. I mean, but a lot of people end up showing their true colors, and that's how you weed it out. Like, and it gets to that point now, and I heard the conversation, whispered, and it says this: give me three guys you know. Let me call them first and check you out, before I decide to, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
to sell you this puppy. You know what I'm saying,
Hmm.
and you can't say nothing wrong about that. You can't say nothing wrong about it. But on the flip side, you know, I, I think it's whoever get it. The problem is I think the problem is these people who, you know, honestly want to be your best friend but don't want to spend the money. Them be the ones where it's end up. They tell you, hey man, I'm a cross all the I's and dot all the T's. And you talk to the person a few times and he real cool and he seemed like he, you know what I'm saying, you might be helping him out. But long behold, that hound already sold. When it touches, it don't even touch his hands yet. By the time you tell him send a transporter or come and get it, he had that hound for 2 days,
Hmm.
and you gave him something
Yeah.
real nice. He can't send you a picture of anything going wrong or if anything happened. No kind of picture. He can't tell you nothing other than what he telling you. And you come to find out, you pop up 2 years later, and you see Sally Joe, and be like, Sally Joe, and you do your homework on it. I ain't send no Sally Joe that way off of this. The only thing I sent that way was this. She should be
Yeah.
buckskin, about 38, 37 pounds.
Yeah.
A little white paw, a little white on her chest, and,
Hmm.
and, and a rat tail. I mean, a real rat tail.
Yeah.
That's how she looked. Gotta tell you, there, that's how she looked. She died on my yard. Dig that.
Yeah.
They bred the balls off of Sally Joe. Sally Joe was so the second day you thought you was giving it to an honest good man.
You're right though, bro. You're right. You're
You
right.
know, it's just sad the faces that the clowns can come in, man. And it just get to the point where it just be like, you let it go, you letting the dog go. You giving somebody a shot. You just give them whatever they do is what they do. But it's sad that's how a lot of yards and breedings of special things never really turned out to be, because them be the type of hounds that goes into a youngster hand that need guidance.
Hmm.
And sometimes before he get the guidance, he got at 10, 12, 13 months, he got a full blown uh E85 monster back there. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That needs some attention. That
Hmm.
that that needs some handling, that needs some loving, that needs something, because all he know is whatever in front of me, I'm clearing it. It's a 6 foot gate, I'm jumping it.
Yeah.
If your chain ain't strong enough, I'm popping it. If your cable set up ain't good enough, I'm taking it with me. You know?
Hmm.
And them are it falls back to our beginning question, man. The guidance.
Yeah. You're right, man. Like, what you think? What do you think about the dog game today compared to the dog game back then?
Oh man, much, 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 much harder. Much harder. Somebody will have to literally put their arm around you back then. I mean, and put their arm around you for you to even be there.
Yeah.
And if that guy ain't put his arm around you, or I mean literally, and say, yeah, he just one of my understudies. And it wasn't no coming through the door. It wasn't no coming through the door. I don't care who you with. I don't care how much money in your pocket.
Yeah.
It wasn't no coming through the door.
Hmm.
You get what I'm saying? And I think that's where certain things just you know started to as we say, squirrel out of control.
Yeah.
Uh, it just it's too readily open, and it just you need guidance. You need somebody to guide you, and with good likewise mind, not some people who just don't care about you, and you need real guidance with
Mm,
this breed, and if you try to figure it out on your own, all the way on your own, sometimes it don't go well for you.
yeah, you're right about that, man. You're right about that. There's just so many different things when it comes to these days and back in the days. You know what I'm saying? Me and my other homeboy was talking, man, and we were just talking about back in the days. We could count probably about 4 or 5 times where people got caught, you know, fighting dogs in the city. You know what I'm saying? They
Yeah,
got their dogs cooking or whatever that was on the scene. It wasn't no going back to your house and getting the rest of your dog.
right.
Unless there was a whole operation that was going on. We talk about just random getting caught up and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
You know, uh, it was just different times, man. Different times.
Yeah, I
Different
mean
times
that's
today. You
the,
know.
the 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 hate and the curse, man. Is this cell phone? You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
It's the gift and the
Oh,
curse.
I'm glad you said that. I know some dudes around here, man, that got caught just like this right here. They did something that ain't had nothing to do with no dogs. They did some kind of foolishness, right? They dropped their
Hmm.
cell phone out. They dropped their cell phone out on the dirt road when they was running. Now, police don't even know they don't even know nothing about what's going on or nothing. Police just stop because they see a cell phone in the road, and these fools had dog fighting stuff, all kind of
Hmm.
stuff in the phone. All of them got locked up. You know what I'm saying? Everybody who was in
Yep.
that phone, the owner of the phone, all of them got locked up. Police called all of them down there. Boom. And this right around my way. This happened years ago. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And he just picked their phone up out the street just off the humbug because there's a phone in the road. And, you want to don't want to run it over. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he started looking through the phone. You know what I'm saying? And shit, man, he seen some all kind of stuff in the phone. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? He called them boys up, gave each one of them they want, locked them all up. Said, damn. So you gotta, be careful, especially when the phones is first coming out and all kind of stuff like that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
You right about that. You right about that. If you hey if you can't put your cell phone in the bag, and if it dropped in some water, frankly speaking, and turn it off, you ain't coming around. You
Yeah,
get what I'm saying? Yeah,
you better
you
leave
ain't
that
coming around.
motherfucker in the car. You better leave that motherfucker in the car or something.
Yeah, yeah, or the collector. You get what
Yeah,
I'm saying? Yeah, hey, the collector. We
yeah.
could you get ain't nobody interested in stealing your goddamn phone. But
Mm-hmm.
when I see you back again, you just pick your shit out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's just like you said, man. There's times it's just it just really went to hell and hot water, man. And it really just went to hell and hot water.
So if a dog gonna be in your program, what's the most important trait he need to have?
Um, smartness,
Smartness.
smartness. Um,
Can we call smartness and gameness the same thing?
no,
The dog smart, he may know how to last, and we may be getting it
no,
confused with him being
mm-mm,
okay.
mm,
Okay.
mm-mm. I ain't mean to cut you off. I ain't mean to cut you
You
off.
good? You good, bro? Go ahead.
But I'm gonna say that the gameness can be bred in them, but the smartness got to come from them, because you can have a whole game. You can have a whole real active litter, but the ones that's smart,
Yeah.
you get what I'm saying? Now you just put 2D batteries and you just started up, a boat.
Yeah.
Them are the ones that you know I can say that you should really supposed to just ease on up, ease them back, and just keep them tucked away. And I think a lot of people issue sometimes, and they not preparing for the worst, and it happens. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You instead of you jumping, and if you got the luxury and the space, breed them. if
Yeah.
you got the luxury and the space. But if you don't, but he just was this one just was a little bit above average on the smartness. Not
Yeah.
saying the gameness,
Yeah.
because you could be dead game, but you could be a dead dummy.
Yeah. Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? But the ones that smart and still know what to do, them the ones you should always keep around to recreate off of.
Yeah. Yeah. I was about to ask you, a dog, that might got all the say we got a dog that got all the sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
About to bring him out back in them days. We was about to bring him out. And we brought him out one time and he was real smart. But I kind of the question I was gonna ask you was, he might be got he got all the sense in the world, but how would you think he match up against one just as smart as him with more experience? But I kind of answered my own question. I was thinking of that in my head to ask you. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? 'Cause more experience is gonna always
Win.
win when it comes to both y'all being this smart dogs. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Yep. And that and I kind of see that a lot when we just gonna say when you get a barnstormer,
Yeah,
back in them days, you get a barnstormer and people and say this gonna be short order, and that's the 50-50 it comes down to, smartness and conditioning, and that's just what you know my eyes can only say. Everybody got their own, but it
oh yeah,
come down to that smartness and conditioning. But
yeah,
that smartness will have you having your Chevy engine driving up the wall, flipping upside down, and the whole thing would be like, shit. How long can he do it? You know what I'm saying? How long that train gonna keep going forward and find out it got more passengers jumping on them? You know what I mean?
hmm,
It hey, it's only so long.
yeah.
It's only so long.
Right
It's
about
only
that, dog.
it's only so long.
So let me ask you this: what's your take on cold dogs? Keep them, get rid of them, what?
It up my way. The first thing they gonna say is get rid of them,
Yeah,
because it comes with time and space. But looking, if you got a vision for and already have the females that you would like to still believe in genetics, and see if it's there, then you could take a gamble with it. You know.